it is, yeah, whatever application that we get, it is something very important that we need to ensure whether it supports all the common browsers what people use, right? So we have seen that need yesterday, and that is why we want to write a test case which checks in multiple browsers. Okay. So everyone tried that. Is that working? Okay, so if not, I will show you the code. No worries. I will do that. But I want you to try one more thing before we move on. What I want you to do is, I think you have already created a set of test cases according to the priorities I told you yesterday. First, Chrome should run, or like next, Firefox should run, and third, Edge should run. Right. So this is one requirement. Now, what I want you to do is you have to modify the same test, right? In such a way that whatever browser I say, for example, I want to say, okay, run in Edge. Even though I have the logic created for all the other browsers as well, your test should run only for Edge. You're getting the requirement now?
Yeah.
Right. So you don't want to think of dynamically getting any values or anything. Just declare one variable, let's say browser equal to Edge. So if that condition satisfies, so you check whether browser is equal to Edge. If it is Edge, go and execute that logic alone. Okay. So I'll give you 10 minutes of your time for this activity. You complete this quickly. If you can't able to do it, I will help you out. Right? Yes, no?
Can you just say once more?
What I want you to do is, yesterday I told you to create the logic, how to check with Firefox, how to check with Chrome, how to check with Edge. I believe you might have done that. Now,
Yes, but all the three are in run in Google Chrome. Something happened to this. I mean, WebDriver. That declaration we don't know.
no problem. So I will check that. But in the meantime, now what you do, you customize the script in such a way that it should run
Okay.
in only one browser. See, suppose if I say Edge, your logic should run only for Edge. Suppose if
Okay.
we say Chrome, your logic should run only for Chrome.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, you modify your test, or like you create a new class, whatever, like you feel comfortable. Better you create a new class, copy
Hmm.
paste the same code and modify it, because if you edit it and again, like you may miss out the first scenario.
Okay. Okay.
Right, take a new class, you copy
Okay.
paste this entire code there. Now what I want you to do is, whatever browser you say for example browser equal to Edge. Now your entire logic should run only for Edge. It should skip for Firefox, it should skip for Chrome. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, please do that. Time is 9:10. We will connect back at 9:20 with your solution. Any doubts?
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, Angela. Okay, I can see your screen.
Here, I gave skip exception for the two methods. But the problem is here, I write the codes and for the below two methods, it is running in the Google Chrome. That I said.
This way it will not work, no? So because now what you do, you put everything, don't have separate test cases. You put everything in the same file, same one test case you have, and you manage with the if-else condition or something. That way you try, Anjana.
This is the problem with the object creation, right?
Which one?
This one. This browser 2 and browser 3. Browser 2
Correct,
for
correct.
Mozilla and browser 3 for Edge.
Correct. But
So,
why you are always creating an object for Chrome driver only?
That's my question. How we can create the object for the Firefox and Edge?
Okay. I'll tell you. Yeah, just give me some time.
Okay.
Similar to Chrome driver, we have a separate dedicated class for Firefox also. We have a dedicated class for Edge also.
Okay.
Okay, I'll show you that now. Okay. I will show you. I don't want to waste time. Okay, just give me a second.
I will stop share.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
I'll share my screen. 1 second. Okay. So just let me know, guys, whether you can able to see my screen.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if you see, this is what the activity what I gave you yesterday. So the first thing is I want to launch Chrome. So I am just having a meaningful method, something like launch Chrome. And this is the logic where I'm having my driver loaded. I'm telling my Selenium, where is my driver? Then I am using a specific class called Chrome driver, which is a dedicated class to work with Chrome, right? So I am simply saying c.get of whatever and c.close. So similar to that for Firefox, if you look at Firefox, I am doing the same logic. I am telling where is my Firefox driver. And to work with Firefox, we have a dedicated class called Firefox driver. It is not again Chrome driver. Chrome driver will work only for Chrome. It will open Chrome instance only. So somebody have actually created a class called Firefox driver, which is used to work with Firefox. So we have to use that class. So similarly, for every browser, we have a dedicated class. Same way.
So the import will be different, right?
Yeah, import is different. Now, if you see here, can you see now?
Okay. So we have to type manually there?
Not required. See, that also I'll tell you what happened yesterday. See, I was searching. I think the issue is with your Eclipse. Okay. So the Eclipse is something like which is creating the trouble. What I did then, I installed the latest version of the Eclipse, the recent version of Eclipse. And then I did the same thing. The moment you mouse over on top of it, it is giving me a suggestion to import. See, this is one option. See, if you want, if you have time, what you can do, you can create a new instance of Eclipse. See, in your system, you can have multiple Eclipse versions. It doesn't mean that, again, like you need to go and uninstall everything, whatever you did on day one. No. Okay. So if you need, if things are not working, if your Chrome driver, even after updating your project, even after updating your Maven and all that, things are not working. So one option is you can go with the latest version of Eclipse, or otherwise, simply after you putting this class, you say Control-Shift-O. Control-Shift-O, what it will do is it will automatically import the relevant files. Okay. So you don't want to remember what is this and all that. Just type this class and you simply say Control-Shift-O, automatically it will import it. Okay, this is a one-time task. Whatever you do, you simply say Control-Shift-O. It will import the relevant packages. That will work with your Eclipse. You're getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now you see, same way I did for Firefox. I'm just saying f.get. I'm creating a reference variable called f for this dedicated class, opening the same web page, closing it. And same way for priority 3, it's for edge. Again, there is a dedicated class called edge driver, e equal to new edge driver. So how do I know all this? Simply Google. That's it. So you will get plenty of information for Selenium. The only thing what we need to know is what to search in Google. That is something which is important, right? So now you see, now this is the logic for edge. Now if I run this, this will run. First it will launch Chrome, then it will open this URL, close it. Then it will launch Firefox, it will open this URL, then close it. Then it will open Edge, it will open this URL, close it. Let's check whether this is working.
Okay, if instead of this, if we are using WebDriver, EF is equal to new WebDriver, what will
I'll
happen?
come to that. I'll come to that. I have not taught anything about WebDriver still.
Okay, okay.
I'll come to that a bit later. There are a lot of things I need to explain on that WebDriver part. I will come to that. Okay, so let me run this now. So let's see whether this is working. Okay, now you see, now this is opening Chrome. Yeah, now Chrome is working. Now it will open Firefox, which is there in my system. If you don't have Firefox, leave that logic. So you don't want to break your head how to install Firefox. Okay, if you want, you can try in your personal system also. That will work. So now you see, now I understood that Google is opening in both Chrome and Firefox. Now I am checking with Edge. Yeah, this is Edge. You can see Microsoft Edge is being controlled. So Edge and Chrome are like a replica. Now you see, it worked everywhere. So I can now able to see it is working in all the 3 browsers. So I can able to confirm now the browser compatibility testing is successful in 3 browsers. Is this clear what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, it's clear.
Right. Now what I'll do, the next scenario, what I told you now, I will create a new class. Okay, I will create a new class. I will say this is again browser compatibility testing. I will say dynamic. Okay, BC testing dynamic. Right. I will create an empty class. Now what I will do, I will pull out everything from this test instead of rewriting. Okay, I need to have one method. I will just take this method. Okay, and put it over here. Second. Yeah, I want this. Instead of saying launch Chrome, I will simply say launch browser, because I want dynamically to open only one browser, right? Okay. Now, what I will do, fine. So this is the logic for Chrome, but I want the logic for everything. So first what I will do, I will load my drivers. So I will have one statement, load drivers. Okay, I want to load all the drivers because I need to work. What I will do, I will have all the set property statements at one place. Right. So this and all I don't need. I will go here. Only this statement I need. This is the set property for Chrome. This is for Firefox. And the next one, this is for Edge. I will copy from here. Done. Now I have loaded all the drivers. Okay. So the next, what I need to do, I need to write my logic. How do I write my logic? What do you think?
Using a if condition.
I need to have some if condition. So what I will do is, here I will create one variable. Let's say some string. Let's say browser equal to, I will say Chrome. Okay, now this test should run only in Chrome, right? So now what I will do, I will have all the logic copy pasted here. Then what we will do, we will try. I will just copy this logic in the same test. Then I will copy the other logic also. That is for edge. So also I will copy. I'll put it over here. Okay. Now I will simply have one if condition. So this is how you can write a if statement. If you want to check a string, see this is a string, right, in Java. See now we are getting into a Java logic. Okay. So if what I can say, if browser is a variable, and if I want to check, I can say browser dot equals. This is how you can check a string. So if browser dot equals, if it is, let's say, Chrome, okay, then what I need to do, I need to write some logic. So what I will do, this is the logic which I need to execute if the browser is equal to Chrome. So I will just copy this logic, put it inside this. Right. Now the next condition. So what I need to do, the next condition is I will simply say else if. Now I will say browser dot equals if it is Firefox. If it is Firefox, then I need to run this logic. Else if, okay, there is a space. Okay, now I have to copy this, put it inside this. Right. So similarly, what I have to do? I have to again say if it is else if browser dot equals if it is edge. So this is pure Java. If you know Java, you can play with this tool. If you don't know Java, again, it is not rocket science. You can learn very easily. The only thing, practice and interest is required. That's it. Now you see, this is what I want you to do. Now, if I run this, it will not run with all the browsers. Based on the condition, it will run. So now I am saying run only in Chrome. Now let me save this, run this. 1 second, I missed something. Okay, I missed the test annotation. Right, import. Now you see with the latest version, the moment I keep my cursor on top of it, it is asking me to import. Right, that's it. Let me say now, I will say run as TestNG test. You see now, it will open only in Chrome and it will close the test. So this is Chrome. Chrome is being controlled. You can see it opens in Chrome and it closes. That's it. This is clear.
Yeah, yes.
Right. Okay. Now, this is fine. Everything is working. So do you see any problem with this logic? This logic, whatever we have created. Anybody?
Currently, every time it will be taking Chrome browser as per the code right
No,
now.
that is what we wanted, right?
Okay.
Okay. So program is working fine. See, instead of Chrome, if I say Firefox, it will go and execute this logic. If I say Edge, it will go and execute this logic. The requirement is getting satisfied. But what about the logic what we have created? So do you think whatever we have created, is it a good logic? Hope you're getting my question. Or do you think, okay, this can be written in a different way also?
Yeah, we can change the equals into some other thing so that we can achieve all the three browser will open.
I am not getting you. Your voice is very feeble.
Actually, if change the equals in the if condition to get all the browser should open.
No, it will not open. No, it will open only Chrome.
Um,
Suppose if I say Firefox here, it will open only Firefox. Let me save and test. Let me run this test again. It will not open Chrome now. You see now? It will open Firefox from my system. See, this is Firefox. Can you see? This is
yeah,
Firefox.
we can
It will not
change
open
the
Chrome.
if condition to for loop
Huh.
so that we
If,
can achieve all the three browser get open.
no, that we already did, right?
For
Let's
loop,
test.
for loop.
Huh.
If you use for loop, still the condition gets satisfied. All the three will run right.
No, but I don't want all the three to run. I want only one to run, whatever based on my choice. So I will give my choice over here. That is the requirement here.
Using switch maybe.
Okay.
Switch case.
Okay. Now, one thing you observe. See, I have a logic for Chrome. I have created a logic for Firefox. I have created a logic for Edge. But actually what I am doing, I'm not doing anything. I'm just opening the browser, loading Google page, and I am closing it. That is what the logic I have created inside this. If you see all the three logic, what we created. But can't you see a kind of a redundant logic that we are using? See, here I am just saying c.get, open the URL c.close. The same thing again I am writing here, just with a different reference variable, f.get, f.close, e.get, e.close. It's a kind of duplicate logic I am writing again and again for every browser. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. Say, for example, I have a requirement to open a browser, go and click on something, go and select on something, go and type some values, then finally close it. If I want to do the same thing with the other browsers also, the same set of statements will again repeat. It's a kind of duplicate logic. So if you look at this logic, it is a kind of redundant logic is here. Redundant logic. Okay. So you see c.get, f.get, e.get. I don't want this way. See, is there a way where I can avoid these duplications? Writing again and again. We can do that in a different way. Okay. Now what I will do, I will create a new test again, new class, and I will name this PC testing dynamic. What I will say, what name I will say, avoiding duplications. So you will understand. Okay. Don't mind about the class name, how big it is. Just for us to understand, I am giving such a big name. So this test, we are going to avoid the duplicate steps. Okay. What to do? Let me take some logic over here. I will create the method first and I will load all this. So this statement we need, right? So I will come here. I will create one new class, sorry, method, public void launch browser. I will say, I will put this logic over here. Okay, so this is my test case. I will say add test, import it. Right. Now, I want you to recollect the interface example, what I have told you on day 1. Can you just recollect that concept? You remember what we did? We discussed some example. Can you just look back your notes? What is interface?
The parent-child inheritance.
That is inheritance.
No, it's a guideline for.
So it is kind of guideline. We have seen one example, you remember?
Yeah, hospital like.
We saw an example of hospital, right? So what we did?
We created a guideline for all government hospital and Fortis hospital, then did the method for both of them.
Very good. Very good. So diagrammatically, I believe I have explained you. Just give me 1 second. I will connect my whiteboard.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we have seen an example of a hospital, if you recollect. So I have taken one interface. This is my interface, right? This is my interface. And the name of this interface, what we gave is hospital. Okay. And inside this, what we had some abstract methods. You remember? Interface cannot have method body. We can have only abstract methods. So we had some abstract methods like consult. We had some abstract methods like scan, X-ray. Right. So this interface acts like a guideline. You remember I told you about the building authority, like the kind of approval, what we need to get and all that. So based on this, we saw 2 implementing classes. So this is my implementing class, which is a government hospital. So there we went and implemented all these abstract methods here. So consult, we have created a method body. And similarly for scan, we created a method body. And similarly, X-ray. So this is a must. Can you recollect all this?
Yeah.
We saw this. And similarly, we created one more class, which is Fortis Hospital. This is a class. When I say this is a class, this is a class. Right. Here also I had consult, the own way of consulting. Then we had a scan, X-ray. Right. And we also had one additional method like phone consult, which is not part of the interface. This is also possible. Okay. Then when I say this is an implementing class, so the arrow will go like this. The arrow will go like this. Right. And we also saw something like upcasting. So what I did, so suppose if I want to invoke this consult, what I did now, I said government hospital, let's say G equal to new government. I created an object, new government hospital. Right. Then what I did, I said G.consult. What this will do? This will automatically invoke this consult because G is a reference which points this memory location. Okay. And similarly, what we did for Fortis Hospital also, we created an object. Say, for example, let's say Fortis Hospital F equal to new Fortis Hospital. We did this. Then I simply say, for example, I want to call this X-ray. So that means what happens? So there is one reference variable called F, which points this memory location. So this is your object. Please remember, this is your object. I'm creating a reference variable which points this memory location. So now if I say f dot scan or whatever, what this will do? This will invoke this scan. So we also saw an upcasting concept by creating a reference variable for your interface. So what we did? So I said hospital.
Hospital H is equal to
H or H1 equal to
new government
let's say
hospital.
government hospital. We did. Right. So when I did that, what happens? It creates a reference variable called H1 and it points downwards. This is what we call as upcasting. And when I simply say H1 dot consult, what this will do? This will again invoke the same consult with the help of interface reference. This is all we saw. And similarly, we created one interface reference for this also. Now, there is 100% relevance with this architecture with Selenium. In Selenium, we have one interface similar to this. This interface is called as WebDriver. In Selenium API, there is an interface called WebDriver, just to relate with hospital. Okay. Now, when you have an interface, definitely you have some implementing classes like this. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what are the implementing classes?
Chrome
In
driver,
Selenium API,
clients.
there is an implementing class called Chrome driver. This is a class. Actually, in Selenium architecture, this Chrome driver is an implementing class of this WebDriver. Actually, the arrow goes like this. There is a relationship between this and this. Similarly, there is an implementing class called Firefox driver. This is again a class. Similarly, there is an implementing class called Edge driver. See, all this class implements this interface. This is already there. This is something which we created for us to understand the concept. But this is already there in Selenium. This is the architecture of Selenium. Now, what I did, actually, we were working from yesterday with this class. What I did, I created an object for this. I said Chrome driver, C equal to new Chrome driver. Okay. Then what I did, I simply called one method called c.get. That means this get method is already there here with some implementation. That means somebody have created a logic how to invoke a web page. Just if you give the URL, automatically what happens? It will invoke the web page. See, I have not written any logic for that. Right? Somebody have already written that logic. If any URL is given, how to go and invoke that URL in Chrome. That logic somebody have written. That is why it is working. So I simply say c.get, open this URL. I say www.google.com. It opens it automatically. Right. Similarly, what I did, I used a method called close. Close is already there. Somebody have written the logic. That is why the moment you say c.close, it closes the browser. So somebody have written this logic. Same thing what we did for Firefox also, right? So what I did, so Firefox driver f equal to new Firefox driver we created, right? And simply we said f.get. So that means get method is also here. So here also we have get method, which somebody have written the logic. Same way here also we have close method. Similarly, here also we have get method. You're getting what I'm saying? Is this clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Right. See, when this is working, and if I say this class is implementing this interface, can I also say this get method, whatever we are referring, will be an abstract method in this interface? If this logic is true, then this logic should also be true, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. This is abstract methods. So this abstract methods is expanded here in all these classes. Now, what I am going to do is, you see now, let me go back to my code. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do, I said string browser equal to Firefox. Now I'm going to use my interface here. I will simply say WebDriver. WebDriver. Actually, this WebDriver is an interface. Okay. I will create one variable. Let's say driver. This is just a variable, like how we said hospital H1. Similarly, this is one variable. WebDriver driver. I will simply say equal to null. What do you mean by null? That means I'm just creating one variable. Let me go back to my whiteboard. I'm just creating one variable here. I'm creating one variable called driver. And this driver variable is pointing to nothing. Okay, that is what I'm saying, is equal to null. Now let me import this WebDriver from Selenium API. If you move your cursor, automatically it will import. If it is not giving you the suggestion, just simply say Control-Shift-O. It will automatically import. Right. Now you see what I'm going to do. I will simply say if browser dot equals Chrome. What I will do now? If this logic is true, I will simply say driver equal to new Chrome driver. What am I doing here? Let me import. What am I doing here? This is nothing but upcasting. You see now no error is coming. WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver. This is what I'm saying. Something like hospital H1 equal to new government hospital. Same way, now what I'm doing? I'm simply saying WebDriver driver is equal to new Chrome driver. That means I'm using upcasting concept. I'm making this driver to point this implementing class. You're getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So similarly, what I will do, I will copy this logic. I will say else if browser dot equals, if it is Firefox, then point to Firefox driver. Firefox is also implementing class, so this should also work. Let me import it. Hey, just give me one moment, 1 second. Sorry, yeah. So it was an important call. Okay. So now you see, so we can do this way also. So driver equal to Firefox driver, because this is also implementing the same interface. So I can do this way. Let me import this Firefox driver. Same way. Now what I will do, I will just copy this and do for Edge also. Else if browser is equal to Edge, then I can simply say Edge driver. Let me import my Edge driver. Right. Now, what I can do? Now the driver variable is assigned. If you look at here, the driver variable is assigned based on my if condition. So if I am saying Chrome, driver will get assigned to this implementing class. If I say Firefox, driver will get assigned here. If I say Edge, driver will get assigned here. See, everywhere I am using upcasting concept. Now what I can do, after this, I can simply come out and directly say driver.get. And here I will say https://www.google.co.in. See, I'm not writing browser specific logic here. If you see here, right? What happened? Okay, 1 second. I will make a mistake. Yeah. Now I will simply say driver.close. That's it. Just one line of code is required. I don't want to write for every browser. Now you see, I have removed the duplication using interface reference. Right, using upcasting concept, what I did now, I have removed that complete redundant logic. I'm not going to write a browser specific logic now, what we did in our previous case. Okay, generally we will not follow this way. That is this one. We will not follow a logic like this. This is just for your reference I have given you. Normally in test automation, we will always use upcasting concept only. Anywhere in YouTube videos or anywhere in book, if you see, they will simply say WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver. That is nothing but upcasting. So for you to explain that, I don't want to use that statement directly. That is the reason I have explained this much. This is clear?
Yeah.
Right. So now if I run, this will also do the same thing. Say, for example, if I now run this, it will open in Firefox. Done. But now I have written only 2 lines of code. Can you try this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So complete this and let me know. We will move on. So this completes browser compatibility testing. We understood the architecture of Selenium. So this is nothing but the architecture of Selenium. If you want, you can just draw this also. So for you to understand it much better. I told you this example already. It is exact replica of Selenium architecture. Fine. Just complete this and let me know. We will move ahead. Guys, what's the status? Any doubt?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
we
done.
have done.
Okay, fine. So we shall move on then. Okay. Now, we understood how to basically do browser compatibility testing. So next, what we will do, we will see how to locate elements. Okay. Just give me a second. I will just share my screen. Okay. So this is one demo website, so which is really good, which we can able to use to learn Selenium. Okay. So we will take this web page for our practice. Now, what I want to do is, this is one dummy flight reservation system. So I would recommend don't take any real websites as of now, because each and every website is completely different. Okay. So I will tell you, we will go slowly. The very first thing what I want to do is, we will try to understand how to locate elements. Say, for example, now what I want to do is, I want to go to this username field and I want to type my name. So how do I do that? Okay, I want to type some name over here. So this element using Selenium. So let's see how to do that. So I will just go and create a new test quickly, a new class, and I will name this as locating elements. Locating elements. I will now say public void. I will just say it is test case. Okay. Any name you can give, meaningful name. I will say add test. Import it. Right. Now, I don't want to test with multiple, what is that, browsers. Let me take any one browser. I will just go with Chrome, whatever. Any browser, whichever you have. I will just load the browser. Now, I will simply say WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver. Directly, I can say like this. New Chrome driver, upcasting concept. Let me import my WebDriver. Let me import. Let me import everything. Right. So I've imported. Next, I can simply say driver.get, and I want to get the URL. So which URL I want? I want to get this URL. So I will just copy this URL from here. I will paste it over here. That's it. So this is the web page that I want. Now let's see whether this is working. Let me save this and run my test and see whether it is opening this URL. Okay, so you can see it goes to this web page and it opens this URL. Now, perfect. Now, what I want to do, I want to go to this element. So how to go to this element? Now, one thing that you need to understand. See, if you simply go to this element, if you right click, okay, in your web page, you will find an option called inspect. Click on inspect. The moment you click inspect, it will open a kind of HTML code if you look at here. So this HTML code is technically called as HTML DOM, document object model. Okay. So any web page, the background code, the background code is nothing but HTML, right? Now for this particular element, this is the code. So that means your developer have used a tag called input tag with an attribute. This is attribute, type is an attribute, and this text is a value, right? So input type text, and you have given a name for this element, that is username, and there is some size which you can see. If you just scroll this, you can able to see everything. Okay. So using this, we can able to locate this element. Right. So how to locate this element? Now I will show you. If you want to locate the element, there is a method. So you can simply say driver. We have seen two methods. One is get, the other one is close. Now I'm going to introduce you to one more method called dot find element. See, there are two methods to find elements in a web page. One is find element, the other one is find elements. Okay. So I will say find element. So this is used to find a single element in your web page. Now there is a class called by, capital B, small y. Why? By, if you put a dot, you will get list of locators in Selenium. So this is what we call as locators. Using locators, we can able to locate an element. Now, if you look at here in this HTML DOM, this element has a name, right? If an element has a name or an ID, it is very easy to locate that element. Now, this element has a name, and in Selenium also, you have a locator called name. Can you see here? Name and ID is there. Name. I will use this name, by.name. Okay. And simply what I can do in double quotes, I will use this name, user name, where U is small, N is capital. I will simply type that user name. That's it. Now I'm telling Selenium to go and find an element in this HTML DOM. So immediately when it finds this statement, what Selenium will do is it will scan this document to find whether any element matches with the name username. So it can now able to find one match, because generally name and ID will always be unique in a web page. No two elements generally will have same name. Okay. So it is very easy to locate an element if that element has a name property or ID property. Right. So now I will simply say go and locate this element. Now automatically what Selenium will do, it will locate this element. Now after locating the element, I want to interact with that element. That means I want to go and type my name. So what I can do. So if you want to type something, you can continue and use a method called send keys. Send keys is to send any values from your keyboard. Send keys. Right. I can simply say send keys and in double quotes, what name you want to give. I will just give my name. That's it. Semicolon. Okay, let's see whether this is working. I will save this and rerun my test. Now you can able to see it will go to the test and it will type my name. See now? Yeah, it have identified the element and it went and typed my name. This is clear.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it's clear.
Right. So this is how we can locate an element. Locate an element by name. Okay. So this is something easy. Okay. If element has a name, this is how you can locate it. What if the element doesn't have a name? Suppose let's assume that the same element what I want to locate, it has only type equal to text and size equal to 10 and there is no name. How do I locate it? As I told you already, if an element has a name or an ID, it is very easy to locate. If an element doesn't have a name or ID, then you need to look for other locators. What are other locators? The most common and the most useful locator is called as XPath. We are going to use XPath. That is, now I will show you how to use XPath by XPath. First of all, we need to understand what is XPath. Okay. So XPath basically gives you the address of the element in the web page. See, these concepts are very, very important. Whatever I'm going to tell you now. Okay. XPath basically tells the address of the element in the web page. Okay. What is this? Fine. Let me show you. I will take a notepad. And how to get the XPath. So let me try to locate the same element using XPath now. I will comment the statement. Now I will come here. I will simply say driver dot find element. Driver dot find element by dot. If you put, you will find something called XPath. Use this XPath. By XPath, we will identify this XPath. I will tell you how to identify. After identifying this XPath, simply I can say send keys again like my name. So instead of giving my name, let me say ABCD. We'll see whether this is working. Right. Now I need to identify this XPath. So how to identify this XPath? Simply you come to your web application. You go to the HTML DOM of that element. Right. From that element, what you do, you again right click on the HTML statement like this. You will find an option called copy. Go to copy. If you go to copy, go to copy XPath. Copy XPath. Let me copy this XPath. Automatically, it will copy to your clipboard. Now, for some reason, what I will do, I will put it in a notepad. Just simply say Control V. Now you see, the moment I say Control V, it is giving me a very big statement. Can you see here? It is giving me a very big statement. HTML, body, div of to table, something it is giving, which I can't able to understand what is this now. A very big string it is giving. Okay. It is very easy. Now, if I go back to my HTML document, right? So if I just scroll up to your web page, any web page, HTML DOM always starts with a tag called HTML. If you see here, this is called as the root of the document. The root of any HTML document will always have a tag called HTML. This is called as root. So now if I look at my XPath, it starts with /HTML. That means it starts with root. Root. Right. Now it is saying in HTML, go to the body tag. It is saying next. Now here, if you see in my HTML DOM, in this HTML, I have multiple tags. You can, what you do, you can minimize everything so that it will simplify you. Now, if you look at here, I can see a head tag. I can see a body tag. I can see something like iframe, and there is something called INS. Let us not worry about all this. Now, from the XPath, it is telling from HTML, go to the body is what it is telling. Let me expand the body. Right. Now, you look at the XPath. From body, it is telling go to div of 2. So what do I mean by div of 2? Now, if I come inside this body, there are multiple tags. If you see inside this, there is something called script, something called div, and again, there is one more div, script. There are a lot of things here, right? So if you see one more thing very carefully, this body is the parent, and inside this, the script, div, and all are childs. You can able to see the level. It is going inside one level, right? So this is what I call as a child, and this is what I call as a parent, right? Now, according to my XPath, what it is saying, from body, go to div of 2. Now, if I see where is div, I can able to see there are two parallel divs to each other. It is not one inside another. Both are parallel to each other. XPath is saying go to div of 2. That means I need to go inside this div because the element what I am looking is inside this div. So I have to expand this div. I don't want to care about what is there in other tags. Go inside this div. Now, if I see my XPath from div of 2, it is saying go to table. Can you able to see a table over here? Table. Then it is saying go to T body. Inside this table, can you see a T body? From T body, it is saying go to TR. Inside T body, you can able to see a TR. Okay. Inside this TR, it is saying go to TD of 2. So if I look at this TR, there are two parallel TDs which are at same level. So now it is saying go to TD of 2. That means I need to come to this TD. So like this, if I scroll and go, referring my XPath, it is telling the element is somewhere here. So that is why I said XPath basically tells the address of the element in the web page. What do you mean by address? Say, for example, if someone wants to know my address, so what I will say, I will give my complete address. I will say I am residing in India. In India, I am residing in this state. So in this state, I am residing in this district. In this district, I am residing in this town. Right. So I will give my detailed address so that nobody will have any doubts. They will directly reach out to me or they will directly send me a parcel, whatever. So similarly, XPath basically tells the address of the web element in the entire web page. Now, what I'll do, I will simply copy this XPath, what I got, and I will paste it over here. That's it. I got a very big XPath. So no worries. The only thing we need to check whether it is going and locating the element and typing this value. Let me save this now and rerun my test. And let's see whether it is finding that element and typing ABCD. It should open a web page. You see now, it went and typed ABCD. So now I can able to understand if you want to locate a specific element in Selenium, you can use any locator. You can use name locator or you can use XPath locator. Is this clear? Let me take a pause. Yes, no.
Yes, Remy. But I have a doubt. Like, what if there is like two names or something like that?
Then
Will
you
it
need to go
be
with
possible?
XPath.
Okay.
You need to go with XPath. That is why I said, generally, in any application, if you find an element, the name will always be unique. 99%. But
Okay.
you still say that, no, this two element has the same name, then you need to go with XPath. Clear?
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Now, we have located, we understood what is XPath now. Let me go back here. When we talk about XPath, there are two XPath available. One is called as complete XPath. Complete XPath, which is otherwise technically called as absolute XPath. Okay, how do I identify whether it is a complete XPath? Complete XPath always starts from the root of the document. What do you mean by root of the document? HTML. This is the root of the document. If you see any XPath that starts with HTML, then it is a complete XPath. The second tip is complete XPath always uses a single backslash at the start. Right. Now, from this, I can able to understand this XPath is a complete XPath. So it always start traversing from the root downwards. If the element is near the root, then your XPath will look smaller. If the element what you are referring is far away from the root, then the XPath string will be bigger. So that is why this string is quite bigger. From this, I can able to understand the element what I want to refer is quite far from the root. Is this clear?
Yeah, yes.
Right. Now, what is the benefit of complete XPath? See, complete XPath is very powerful. It is like giving your complete address. Nobody will have any confusions. Okay. See, sometimes you can see people writing their entire address. Right. They will not even leave the pin code. They will not leave their street name, landmark, the contact phone number, or like alternate phone number. Everything they will give. So nobody will call you. They'll directly land at your place. This is complete XPath. So similarly, complete XPath is very powerful in locating the element. It will perfectly locate the element. But it has a major challenge. Say, for example, I'll tell you what is the problem in complete XPath. Okay, I will take a new page. Okay, now let's assume that I have a web page. This is my web page. And there is one element here. This is the element which I want to locate. And let's assume that this is my username. And let's assume my root is somewhere here. This is my root, which starts with /HTML. Let's assume that way. Now, if I give a complete text path traverses like this till this element. And in between, there are many elements which are available. So this complete path, what it will do, it will take to locate this element. Now, the problem is, let's assume that your development team suddenly comes and what they did, they inserted a new frame here, which covers this username. Now, what will happen? What will happen? My XPath will completely change because they have included something in between. Suddenly, the next day, some developer comes and removes this element. Now also, my XPath will change because they have removed something. So from the root till this element, there should not happen any changes. Then only complete XPath will work always. If there are any modification that is going to happen in between, then your XPath will fail. You're getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, no? Right. So complete XPath is always preferred for projects which are already completed. Already the development is over. Now you need to do testing. You can prefer complete XPath because there is no development team into picture. They will not come and modify anything. Nothing is going to change. This is the final version. You need to do testing and you need to identify defects. Then you can go with complete XPath. So complete XPath is not preferred for projects where parallel development and testing is happening. When your application has a huge probability of changes, then complete XPath will not work because your development team keeps changing the GUI, they keep changing the elements, then it will not work. So that is where we have the next XPath, that is partial XPath. So similar to complete XPath, we have one more XPath called partial XPath. It is called partial XPath, which is something opposite of complete XPath. So what do you mean by partial XPath? It is otherwise called as relative XPath. So this XPath is completely opposite. It will not start from the root of the document. It will not start from the root of the document. It will start somewhere in the midway. That is why it says partial. Right. Usually, this XPath uses double backslash at the start. Right. It will not use single backslash. It uses a specific format. If you change the format, Selenium will not work. So what is that format? So what is that format? The format is, it starts with double slash, tag name, in square bracket, at, you need to use at symbol, attribute equal to, in single quotes, you need to give the value. This is the syntax. Okay, I'll show you with an example. We'll take the same example only. Double slash, tag name, attribute equal to, in single quotes, you need to put the value. Okay. Now, let me take the same example. Our example, what we are searching. Let me go here. So this is the element. This is the element. If I go and inspect, if you want to inspect again, you can click this inspect button and click on this element. It will again highlight this HTML structure. Let me come here. And now this is the string, or this is the HTML structure of this element. Now I can directly reference this element only. If you see, this is nothing but the tag name. Any text box will always have a tag name input. So what I can do, I can simply say, you should know how to frame your XPath. I can simply say / tag name is input. If you see, this is the tag name. Okay. Then followed by a square bracket at. I need to put the attribute. So what is the attribute here? Type is an attribute. Name is another attribute. Size is another attribute. So which attribute do you think is unique? Name is unique. So what I can do, I can simply use name. I can say at name. At name equal to in single quotes, what is the value for name? User name. I can say user name. Close your single quotes, close your square bracket. That's it. This is the relative XPath for this element. Now, this will also work. What I will do, I will simply copy this, come to my code. What I will do, I will say by XPath. I will say, instead of saying by XPath, I will say by absolute XPath, this one. This is absolute XPath. And now I will write the same code. I will simply say, now here it is by relative XPath. How to write? Driver dot find element by dot XPath. And here I need to put my XPath dot send keys. I will give some name. Let me say John. Okay, and this XPath we have already created. Let me copy this and put it here. Save it. Let me comment all this now. I will comment my absolute XPath and see whether this is working. Let me run this code. It goes to the web page. It locates the element now and it types John over there. Can you see now? It went and typed John. So this is also working. So this is how you can use partial XPath. So partial XPath is very simple. It doesn't have the relevance from the root. So now I'm not referencing this element from the root. See, whatever happens from the root, your development team is making changes anywhere outside this element, no problem. It will not affect my XPath. Suppose if the developer is going to come and change the name property, then definitely it will fail. Other than that, he can add anything. He can change the GUI. He can move this element anywhere here. It will all work. So partial XPath is preferred when your application has the probability of changes in the GUI. Is this clear?
Yeah, yes.
Right. So all this you need to try out and see. Okay. Now, coming to your question. Let me take the same example. I have a web page. Let's say, see, these are all some interesting things. Generally, this will happen in projects. I have one element. Let's assume that the element is here. And there is one element here. Let's assume that the name property of this element is username. And this name also has username. Hope you're getting what I'm saying. Generally, this will not happen. But we cannot commit that no two elements can have the same name or ID. It can also happen. Suppose in the same web page, there are two elements which has the same name attribute as username. And I write a XPath like this, // input in square bracket, I will say at name equal to single quotes username. If I write this XPath, what will happen? And let's assume that this is my root. This is my root. And from root, this element is somewhere here. And this element is somewhere here. If I write the statement to locate my element, what will happen? There are three choices for you. One is it will throw an error because Selenium will identify there are two elements in the same web page which matches with these attributes. So it will give an error saying that I could not able to locate what you are trying to say. This is option number one. And the second option is it will go and identify the first username. This one. Or it will identify the last username. This one. What do you think?
Second option, first username.
Yeah, first username.
First username. Okay. What about others? What do you guys think?
Error.
Error. Okay. What actually happens? Anybody? Just think. Whatever. So you don't want to be correct actually. I will tell you what will happen here. How many of you say error? So because we got two choices. How many of you say we will get error? Anybody saying error? Okay, Gokul is saying. Anybody else? Okay. Vandana raised hands. Okay. Okay. Kala is raising hand. Okay. Fine. So there is a probable chance that Selenium may get confused and it will throw an error. Okay, good. How many of you say it will go and select the first username? That is this. Okay, Anjana is raising. Okay. Okay, 3. Okay. 4. Okay, 5. Okay, many people are raising hand. Good. Okay. How many of you say it will go, if it is going to identify the first username, then this should also happen, right? How many of you are saying, okay, it will go and recognize this last username? Okay. Okay, good. Fine. So actually, the answer here is, it will go and identify the first username. It will not throw any error. I'll tell you why. Actually, whenever you are trying to locate an element, you will get an error if the syntax is wrong. Okay. But here the syntax is correct. So it is a valid XPath. So it will not throw any error. What actually happens is the Selenium starts scanning your HTML DOM. It will try to now locate whether there is any input element whose name matches with username. It can now able to identify its match first. That is the Selenium. Because this comes nearer to the root. So what it will do? It will go and locate this element. and whatever you are saying, it will go and do in that element. So that is why it is not throwing an error and it goes and works with the first username. So since it have already went and executed the statement successfully, it will not still continue its search. So it will not go and do anything with this element. So it will move on to the next step. So that is why this statement is correct. But now, what if my requirement is to go and interact with this element and not with this element? What do I do?
Should give the absolute path.
Very good. One option is, let me go to the absolute path. I will go to absolute path and give the entire path here. So correctly, this element will get recognized. But I know absolute path has some drawbacks. And let's assume that this is a heavily dependent application. My developers left, right, they are making changes everywhere, every day. I'm not afford to write an absolute XPath over here. So is it still possible for me to use relative XPath and achieve my requirement?
And another attribute.
Another attribute.
Yeah,
You
like
mean to say like, okay, I have two attributes, maybe like what that username has, maybe the text or size.
yeah.
Okay, let's assume that all the three attributes are same for both the elements.
Then we can use any variable to declare the.
Sorry?
We can use any variable.
I can use any variable.
Yeah, like if a equal to this path.
Okay.
With
Fine.
that a we can use to call the particular element.
Okay. I can have a separate variable. Okay, good. But still that will not work because again, the scanning concept will come into picture. Whichever element is coming first, only this element will get recognized. Because your XPath matches. That will not work. So what I can do is, now I can't able to identify with this properties because both the element matches with the same name. Now what I can do, I can look for its immediate parent. So what is this parent? Suppose this parent is a TD. And let's assume that this parent is a TR. Okay. I can rephrase my XPath in such a way, something like this. What I can do, I can say /TD. I can traverse from the parent TD. Inside TD, I will say go to input and locate the element with name. Username. You see now? This will uniquely locate this element. I'm starting from its parent. Now, same way, if I want to locate this element, I will say /tr/input at name equal to single quotes username. This will exactly locate this element. This is clear what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes.
Right. Okay. What if this is also TD then?
Above parent.
Then go to the next parent which is above this. If that is also same, go to the next parent above this. Definitely, till the root, both elements will not be same. It will not have same parents. If it has same parents till the root, then logically it will not in two different places. It will be in the same place. Traverse upwards till you find a difference in the parent, and from there you frame your XPath. That will also work. Say, for example, if I come back to my example here, instead of writing by relative XPath, this is, let's say, option 1. I will write my next XPath. I will say this is option 2. What I can do now, instead of directly referring from the input, I will go to the element. This is my input and go to the parent. It has a TD. Can you see here? The immediate parent is TD. I can start from the TD. I can simply say TD slash. This will also work. Let me say John 1, 2, 3 and see whether this is working. Let me save it. This will also work. Let me run as TestNG test. So you see now what happens? It goes to the web page. It opens. Can you see? It works. It locates from its parent. You can move to any top level. Okay, but ensure that you are following the right syntax. That is very, very important. This XPath concept is little dicey. It will confuse you. It requires a lot of practice. You need to practice. It looks easy, but by practice, it will come. And one more thing. See, whenever I frame my XPath, you should know how to write your own XPath. Okay, based on the element. Say, for example, I have returned this XPath. I want to know whether this XPath is correct. So what do I do generally? I will put it in my script, execute and see. If it is working fine, then I will confirm, oh, okay, this is working correctly. But there is also another way. Before putting it into Selenium and executing everything and finding out whether your XPath is correct, you can directly check from the HTML DOM. What you can do? You go to your HTML DOM. You go to your HTML DOM. That is this. Simply say Control F. The moment you say Control F, you will find a new window getting opened. Find by string selector or XPath. Now here, what you do, you write your XPath. I will say / input. I'm just asking, go and search in all the inputs. Now, the moment you type, can you able to see here? It says 1 of 7. That means in this web page, there are 7 input elements is what it is saying. Okay, now I am saying there is a filter. In all the input tag, just search with name. I will say at name equal to, in single quotes, username. Username, close your single quote, close your square bracket. The moment you type this, can you see here? It says 1 of 1. That means in this entire web page, there is one input element which has a name, username. It is saying 1 of 1. So that is this element. Now I can able to confirm the XPath, what I have framed here is correct. You can simply copy this, put it in your code. It will work. You don't want to do the reverse. Is it clear what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes.
Right. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is, you can go here. Yeah. So here itself, if you want, you can register. You can register to this web page. Okay. Or otherwise, you simply go to this URL, demo.guru99.com/test-new-tools. And you can give my name. You simply say, Remy, I want you to locate this username. I want you to locate this password also. You can give Remy for password also. Locate the submit button and click the submit button. So for clicking, it is .click. There is a method. If you put a dot, you will get list of methods. Like how for typing we use to send keys. For clicking, it is .click. You click this. The moment you click, you will get a message, something like this, login successfully. So can you just automate this login process?
Yeah, okay.
Right. So in this, you try all the examples. You try with the help of, what is that? You try a name or like ID, whatever you have. You try all the options. ID won't be there here. It will have name and the other one is XPath is what you can try. So try with all complete XPath, try with partial XPath. In partial XPath also, you try directly by referring the element, then referring from its parent, referring from its grandparent. You try all that, make yourself comfortable. Right. So you can do this activity for 15 minutes, take a 15 minutes break. We will connect at 11:30.
Can you share that URL for this website?
Yes, I will share this URL. You can just note it here because you may not be able to copy it, right? This is the URL. Just 1 second, somebody is ringing the bell. 1 moment. Yes, guys, any doubts? All good? Able to do?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Fine then. So you can try. And one more thing. So if you want to try a different application also, I'll give you. So that also, if you want, you can try for ID. I'll share my screen once quickly. This is that website. You can also go to demo workshop. This one. Okay. So this is the web page. I go to directly to login. I will give the URL. This also you can try. So this web page has ID property. Okay. But the only thing is you need to go and register. Say, for example, see, you don't want to register. You can simply go to login. Okay. And just try accessing this email and password. Don't click this login button. Okay. So now if I go and inspect this element, say, for example, I go and inspect this email field. You see now, this is the element. Can you see? Input. There are few properties. Class. There is an ID. Can you see now? ID is also there. Name is also there. So this is what I said. Not all web elements are same. It again depends on how the developer have written the HTML logic, the front-end logic. Okay. Now, if you want to check ID, you can also check. Say, for example, if you go to Selenium, you also have a locator called ID, driver dot find element. If you simply type by dot, if you put a dot, you will find something called ID. So this you can try with this web page. And you can refer to the ID. Is this clear? Can you try all this? Yes, no.
Yeah, we try.
Hope it's not a
Yeah,
bummer
okay.
for you guys.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Fine. So that is why I'm just giving you time. So we can connect at 11:30. Take your own time. Try out. If in case you face any issues, we will again connect at 11:30 and discuss. Fine then. Okay. Guys, hope you got the recordings for last 2 days. You got the recordings, right?
No, Rami.
No, no.
Oh, you didn't got, does it? Okay. 1 second. There is a big link actually. So you guys can mail me. I will just forward that link. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
So just mail me. Otherwise, you can just text me also. So this is my number. You can text me also. I will share that link. So because it has a lot of zigzag characters, so it is very difficult if you write it down.
Fine, then. We'll connect at 11:30.
Hey guys, any questions? I'm back.
No.
Okay. Did you guys try it or you're trying?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's done.
Fine. Any questions, anyone, before we move on? Yeah. Okay, fine. So we understood how to locate the elements in a web page. We understood what is a locator, how to use different locators. So now what we will do, we will see how to work with specific elements. So like we will first go with links. Okay. I will show you what exactly I'm talking about. One second. I'll go to our demo application and share my screen. Let me know if you can able to see my screen.
Yeah, able to.
Yeah, it's visible.
Fine. Okay. Now, what I want to do is, see, sometimes I may get a requirement to work with links. Okay. So I see a lot of links over here in this web page. If you see anything that you see, this image is a link, this demo site, all these links are there, the Selenium insurance project, something. I can able to see everything is a link. Okay. So I want to work with links. So how to work with links? Let's see. So what I will do, I will take a new test. I will create a new class. I will name this as link testing. Link testing. I will create one method, public void, let's say test case. I will have my test. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll have my default code, whatever we have created. So I will just take this 3 lines of code and we'll put it over here. Correct. Okay. So now, one more thing, if you note here, say for example, if I run this quickly, if I run this, proceed with launch, I think there is some problem in this. 1 second. Okay, okay. So we have tried all this. Right. Let me run this test. Now, if I run this, you can see now it opens the web page. Okay. And one more thing, if you note, whatever the browser window Selenium is opening, right? It is not in full screen. If you see, only it opens half the way. Okay. See, sometimes I may want to open the browser window full screen. So how to do that? So you can add 1 line of code. So that means the moment when you open the browser instance, I want to maximize it. You can just add this line. I can simply say driver.manage window. That means the current window dot maximize. I can just add 1 line. So now what it will do, the moment it opens a Chrome instance, it will maximize it, then it will hit this URL. So you can quickly see that. If I run this, you see now, it will open, it will maximize to the entire full screen. And then it will load the URL. Okay, so this all we can have in our default code. So this is common code which we will write in every script. I will also tell next how to avoid this. Instead of writing this 4 lines or 5 lines of code in every test, how we can avoid this also. There is a way to do that. I will tell you how to do. Okay, so as of now, I will just open this. And one more thing, if you could note, see any web page, whenever you try to load, it will not get loaded immediately. It will take some time. Say, for example, when I open this web page, okay. So this is the web page that I want to open and I want to go and interact with this username. Okay, what I will do after writing this line, I will write a statement, driver.find element, go and find this element. So Selenium will execute the statement sequentially. So now, sometimes what happens is, this element may not get loaded immediately when the web page is loading. It will take some time. Okay, so you might have seen in the real websites. So if you take any websites like IRCTC or like the banking applications, when the server is quite busy, what happens? It will not load the elements immediately. So, but Selenium will not know all that. The moment the web page gets loaded, it will try to locate this element. But this element will not be present. So you may get an error saying that this element is not available. Any error you may get. So to avoid that, what you need to do, you need to tell Selenium, wait for some time. Wait for some time till the element comes. Okay. So how to tell that in Selenium? So you have something called as implicit wait. You can add one line of code. After loading this web page, you can simply say driver.manage dot timeouts dot implicitly wait. There is one method called implicitly wait. So I'm telling Selenium to wait implicitly for some time. So what is the time? I will say duration dot. It will give you a lot of conditions. Duration dot of days, of hours, milliseconds. Can you see here? So I will simply say duration of seconds. I want to wait for a few seconds. Let me say some 20 seconds. So what this statement will do is, this statement will wait for all find element statements that comes below, not just for one time. See, I want to locate this element, then I want to locate this element, then I want to locate this element. It will wait for all elements, right? So it is like a global wait. I can simply add this. So you can also add this logic to your default code. So these are all the default code statements generally we use when you open any website. Right. Okay. Now, what I need to do? We will see how to work with links. Okay. Now, any link if you take, say for example, I go to this web page and I will search for any link. Let me inspect this link. Right click, go and click inspect. The moment I inspect a link, this is the HTML code for that link. You see now, any link you take, it starts with the A tag. That means it is called as anchor tag. Okay, generally, if you have studied HTML, you may be knowing. Anchor tag is a special tag which is used to create a link in HTML. So any link if you take, it will have an anchor tag. Any link, say for example, I go and right click this register, say inspect. You see now, it starts with the A tag. So if there is any element that starts with the A tag, that is nothing but a link. So this is how I'm filtering my link now. So what I will do in my Selenium, I will write a logic like this. I will say driver dot find elements. See, there is a method called find elements. Find element will find one element. Find elements will find more than one element. It will return a collection. Right. I want to find all the links. This is my requirement now in the web page. So I will simply say find elements by dot. Which locator I can use. Now, there are n number of locators. See, for certain things, certain locators are very powerful. So I'm just locating a locator called tag name. If you see here, tag name. I'm just finding the element with tag name. Yeah, I will simply say this. That's it. Simple. Now, what Selenium will do? Selenium will scan the entire web page and it will find all the links now. Only links will have tag name as A. It will find all the links. Now, this will return a collection. That means it will return more than one element. So can I store this in an integer variable? Can I say something like int a equal to, will this work? No, it will not work because the right side, the logic what you have created, it will return all the links. It will return multiple web elements. I cannot store it in a static variable like this. It will throw an error. So what I need to do is, I need to store it in a collection object. In Java, there is a concept called list. We are going to store it in a list. All right. So how to store it in a list? I will simply say list. List is the data type. List of type. Okay. This will return web elements. N number of elements in the web page. So there is a type in Selenium called web element. I will say list of type web element and give a name for your list. Let me say links is the name for my list. That's it. Now, what you have to do, you have to import this list from Java util package. If you keep your cursor, you will get this list. You need to import from Java utility. This you have to import, and web element will come from Selenium API. Web element is a class in Selenium. You have to import it. That's it. Now, what I have done here is I have taken all the links from the web page. I will tell you what exactly I'm doing. I will take new whiteboard. Okay, if you look at here, so what actually I have done is I have taken, this is my web page. Let's assume that this is the web page which we are referring. It has multiple links. Here and there I have links. Right, I'm writing a logic to extract all the links by using tag name. So all the links will come. Now what I am doing, I am putting it in a list. This is my list. Let's assume this is my list. A list is nothing but it can store multiple elements like an array. This is my list. Right, I have created one list and I have stored all the links here. First link here, second link here, third link here, like this. I have stored all the links. And the name of this list, what I have given is links. This is the name that I have given, if you see here. I am saying create a list of type web element. That means the values that I am going to store inside this are nothing but web elements. Because what I am extracting from this web page is a web element. Is this concept clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Right. Okay. Now, what I want to do. See, I may have different requirement. So in a web page, I want to count how many links are there. Now, as simple as that, what I can do is, if I count the number of elements in this links list, it will tell me exactly how many links are there in the web page because I have captured everything and stored here, right? Both are one and the same. Now, how to get the count of these elements? So in Java, there is a method called size. Using size, what I can do, I can get the count of the list. So simply what I can do, I can say system.out.println. I will write a print statement. I will say the total number of links equal to, I will say, use a concatenation operator, use the links. This is nothing but the list name. Links dot, there is a method called size. This will tell the count of this list. That's it. This will exactly give me the total number of links in the web page. That's it. This is the logic which you need to use if you want to count the number of links in the web page. That's it. Let me run this and see how many we are getting. If I run this, opens the web page. It extracts all the links. And now let's see the count. Okay, my test case is passing. It says the total number of links in this web page is 61. There are 61 links in this web page. This is clear. You're getting this logic?
Yes.
Right. Now, what will be my next requirement? I'm very eager to understand what are those 61 links. I want to print all the 61 links. So now what I want to know, I want to print all the links. How to do? So this logic is used to create, this logic is to get the total number of links in a web page. So now this logic, what we are going to write is to print all the links. Now, the one thing what we can do is, if I start from the first element in this list till the last element, I can able to get all the links one by one. So I have to put an iterative loop. I can put a for loop or while loop to iterate each and every values in this list. This is the logic what I'm going to do. Right, what I'll do, I will create one iterative loop. I say, for example, I'm using a for loop. I will simply say for int I equal to 0. That means it will always starts with the index. See, now if you see this link, this is index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2, this is how it goes. Okay, suppose if I say links of 0, it will refer this first element. If I say links of 1, it will refer the second element. So now I will simply say, I will put a loop for I equal to 0, I less than links dot size. That means I need to go till the end. Size will return the total number of elements in the list. I will say I plus plus. That's it. Go inside this list. Now what I will do, I will simply write one print statement because I want to print all the links, right? I will use a print statement. Now what I will say, I will simply say links dot, there is a method called get of index. I will say I. Get of I means for the first time, it will say get of 0. So it will take this element. From this element, I need to extract the text. So there is a method called dot get text. It will get the text. That's it. So I have used this in an iterative loop, which will run from the first element till the last element in the list. So this will return the text of all the links. It will print all the links. Let's see whether it is printing. Let me run this and see what happens. Loaded the web page. It started scanning. It's printing. Now let's see the output. Yes, it says pass. Now let me see the output. Yeah, can you see here? It is printing all the links. Demo site, testing, Selenium, live project. All this is getting printed. Home, flight, hotel. All these are here. If you see home, flight, hotel, car rental. All this is getting printed. Is this clear?
Hi, Remy, why is there space between like?
That is something I was about to ask you. Can you tell me? Yeah, so that is something interesting. So if you look at here, I can able to see a lot of spaces here. So there is one space. Again here, there is a huge space. I don't know what is happening. And again, like the text comes. Okay. Now, one thing if I observe, when I say the total says 61. But when I say counting it, I'm very sure it will not give me 61. So here I see some 4 or 5 hardly. Then again, if I come down, let's assume that there are some 10 items here. So 10 plus 5, 15. And again, if I come here, and there are some 20 is there. 20 plus 10, 30. Let's assume that's it. But where is the 61 coming here? So what do you think? So something may be wrong. Either this logic is wrong or this logic is wrong is what we think. But actually what is happening here is something different. Okay. Now, what logic we are writing here? go and get the link and get its text. See, whenever you have a link in a web page, it is not necessary that it should have a text in it. There can also be a link without a text. Say, for example, I go to a web page. If you want to check more about links, you go to a news website. Say, for example, CNN.com. This is a news website. See, anything you go to a news website, mostly it will be link only. See, wherever you see it is link only. This is a live website. Now, if I see here, so this is an image. Can you see? When I mouse over on top of it, it's giving me a hand pointer. It is a link. It is a link. See, this is an image, which is a link. It may or may not have a text associated with it. If I come here, this is an image. If I scroll down, I can able to see an image. See, sometimes what happens, you may get a GIF image or a static image. Sometimes you may have a video getting played. Okay, so actually now there is no video here. But generally when you open CNN, so you can able to find videos also running. Videos, some GIF images will come. Or sometimes it may be a broken link also. It may not be a valid link. Right. So I can check the validity of a link by checking whether it is actually displayed in the web page. Okay. See, wherever the spaces are coming here, that means it may be a link, but it doesn't have a text. That is why there is a space here. I don't know what is happening here. So I can check with the logic whether the link is actually getting displayed in the web page or not. So for that, what I'm going to do, one additional check I'm going to do, just simply in the same print statement, what I will do, I will add one more line. Right. See, something like this. I will continue doing this and I will simply say plus. I will add some breaking and again I will say links dot get of I dot, there is a method called is displayed. So this is a Boolean method. So if the link is actually getting displayed on the HTML DOM, it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. Right. So since I am putting the statement in a print statement, this true or false will also get displayed. Right. Now, wherever spaces are there, it will now say either true or false. So if you count that true and false, you will get 61. Now let's check this. Actually, this is the catch here. So please don't think that the logic what you have created is wrong. Now if I run this, let's wait. Okay, so I got the page saying pass. Now if I go here, can you see true, 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 false, false, everything is coming? Can you see now? Okay, so wherever it says true, that means there is a link without a text or there is a link with a text. It's a valid link. Wherever there is a false, it is not a valid link. Can you see? There is a huge space now. It's not. It may be a broken link or whatever. We are not very sure. Okay. See, wherever there is a valid link, it says true. So now if you go and count this true and false, you will get this count. So this is the catch here. Don't always compare with the text because as I told you, all links will not have a valid text. It answered your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is something which is very, very important that you need to understand. And the third very important requirement is to click a link. See, this is a very common requirement to click a link. So we should know how to click a specific link. Say, for example, always when I open this web page, I need to go and click this hotels or like I want to go and register. Okay, let me click this hotel and see what happens. The moment I click this hotel, it is giving me some advertisement, some junk advertisement is coming. Okay, let's see whether this is coming or not. But it is random. Not every time it will come. See, sometimes if you click hotel, you will get like this. Sometimes advertisement will come. Okay, but my intention is to go and click this hotels. So how to do that? Right? So it's quite simple. I can simply say driver dot find element. I need to find this element, that is this hotels link. Right. So what I can do, I can simply inspect this element and see which locator we can use. I will go here to hotels and see what happens. Okay, so this is a link, and if I see here, I don't find any useful locator. There is no any easy locator. One way here, what I need to do is I have to use only XPath. But there is one more easy way to work with links. What I can do is simply I can say by dot, there is something called link text. This locator will work only for links. Link text. If the text what you are looking at is unique, say for example, this hotel is a link which should come only once in this web page. It cannot happen everywhere. If this link is available only once, then definitely you can use this link text and simply you can say hotels. That's it. Okay, wherever it is in the web page, Selenium can able to go and locate it. If this link is present, then simply I want to click that link. That's it. Okay, now let's see whether it is going and clicking. After doing everything, it should go and click that link. Let's check this. Goes to the web page. It should now click the hotels link. Yeah, you see now I got the junk advertisement. It's coming. So that means it is going and clicking. All right. So you can do anything like after clicking, say for example, I want to get this URL, whatever comes dynamically. So this URL I want to capture. So what I can do after clicking this, say for example, my requirement is to get the current URL of the web page. Okay, so what I can do is simply write one statement, driver dot get current URL. Get current URL. This will take the URL of the web page which is in focus. That's it. So this URL is nothing but a string, right? It's a pure string. I can store it in a string variable in Java. So string, let's say current URL equal to. Now, if you see one interesting fact, the left side part is Java. Okay, and the right side part is Selenium. Okay, now I can simply print this. I'll put a print statement. Let me say system.out.println, and I will simply say the current URL equal to, I will say plus current URL. Have the variable. That's it. This will print me the current URL what I'm getting. Let's quickly run all this together. Opens the web page, does everything. Fine. It clicks. Now I got a different page. It should copy this Google Vignette, whatever. Let's see whether that is getting printed here. Yeah, you see now the current URL. This is the URL which we got. It is printing only. Is this clear?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Right. So this is all about link testing. Any web page, if you take, maximum it revolves around this requirements. Anything you get in your project which you need to work with links, you can use this logic.
I have one doubt. If in the print all the links, right, in that block, if you have any method to print only a valid link with the text.
Java. Use Java logic. Use a if condition. Take a value, get the value of what is that? Either it is true or false, and just try to print only that.
Okay.
There you need to use your Java. So here I am printing all the links with true and false. That's it. Now you want to filter it only true. You put again a condition. So if the result, you store all this in a variable, you say if the result is true, print only that. That's it.
Okay.
Right. Pure Java. That is why I said, if you are quite familiar in Java, you can customize your logic the way you want.
Okay.
Got it? Can you just try this? Right. So we'll take some 10-15 minutes. You complete this. Once you are comfortable with links, we will move on to next drop downs. How to work with drop downs, we will see next.
Okay.
Fine. So finish and type done in the chat box. We'll move on. You can take the same example. You don't want to always take a realistic web page. So our intention is to learn how to work with different web elements. If that is working, then it is fine. What application you are taking doesn't matter.
Guys, any questions? So today many people are quite silent. Is it quite hard? Or like you are practicing? Namika, Kalpana, Meenu, Angeline.
Actually, Remy, I'm in office today. That's why.
Oh, in office you will not talk, is it? Okay.
It will be noisy,
Okay. And you can chat also. If you have any questions, anything you want to share.
Sure.
Otherwise, I'll feel I'm only talking all 4 hours. My mouth is paining, no?
No, it is going good, but we are typing it right, so we are learning that.
Sorry, Kalpana, I couldn't hear you.
No, we are learning it right. We are typing that
Okay.
programs.
Yeah,
That's why we are so silent today.
Super, super. Okay then. Yeah, thank you so much, Kalpana. So if time is properly getting utilized, I am fine with it. Okay, just let me know if link testing is done. We'll move on with one more concept for today.
Done, Remy.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So next, what we will do, we will move on with drop downs.
Give me 5 minutes.
Sorry, Kalpana?
Give me 5 minutes here to
5
complete.
minutes. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Okay. Then we'll wait.
Yeah, done, Remy.
Yeah, thanks, Kalpana. How about others? Shall we move on?
That's done.
Great. Okay. Fine. So now what we will do, we will see how to work with drop downs. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so hope you can able to see my screen. Okay. We will find a drop down. Yeah, I'll go to this flight tab. So this is the URL. So since it's a demo website, you can directly come to this URL. And so here I have a lot of drop downs. So I see a drop down over here. There are many drop downs which you can just try. Okay, I'll take any one drop down and I'll show you how to work with it. Let's quickly create a new test. Now we'll simply say new class drop down testing or drop down handling, whatever you give. Okay, I will simply say public void, let's say test case. Create my test case, let's say a test. Important. I will have the default code, whatever. Default code. I will put everything over here. Right. Now I will change my URL slightly. So this is my URL. I want to go to this web page. I will directly hit this link. Right. Okay. Now, the moment I load this web page, I need to what I have to do. I need to wait for this page to come. Then I want to interact with this element. Okay, let me take this departing from, and I will just inspect and see what locator I can use. Okay. Now, if you see a drop down, see generally a drop down will always use a select tag. Okay, any drop down if you take, it will always have a select tag. So you might have studied during your college days how to create a drop down. We generally use a select class, a select tag. And if you just expand this, each and every option in this drop down will be placed in an option tag. See, this is the structure of a drop down. Okay, any drop down if you take, whatever you see here, if you go and inspect and see, this will be the structure. Okay, fine. So now there is an element with a name called from port. So it is quite easy. Let me copy this from port from here. I will write one statement, something like this. I will say driver dot find the element, by dot name. And we have a name for that element, that is from port. Okay, so always try to copy the text from the HTML DOM. If you simply double click on anything, it will get highlighted. Like this, if you click, it will get highlighted. You can say Control C and paste it here. So unnecessarily, those case sensitive errors will not come. Right. So this is the element. Now, what I want to do is, see, this is a web element. I can store it in a variable also. What I can do, there is a class in Selenium called web element. I can use that web element and I can simply use a name. Let's say drop down equal to. Okay, now let me import this web element. This is a class in Selenium. Like how we use int a equal to something. This will return one single web element. If it returns multiple elements, then you need to store it in a list. We have seen that. If it is a single web element, you can store it in a normal web element. And I'm just giving a name. Now, wherever I use this drop down, it will always refer this element. So every time, whenever I want to refer, I don't want to always go and find the element by some attribute. So I can store it once and I can use it later. So this approach is also good. Fine. Now, one thing you need to understand, whenever there is a drop down, if you want to handle a drop down, there is a special class in Selenium called select class. You need to use that select class. So here, what I'm going to do is, I will create an object for that select class. So select, let's say yes equal to new select, and pass the element which you want to work as the instance. Drop down is the element. That's it. This is the next step. Okay, it is a thumb rule that whenever there is a drop down that is coming, you need to use a select class. So let me import the select from Selenium. Import it. That's it. If import is not working, just simply say Control-Shift-O. It will automatically import. That's it. Now, next one. Okay. So what I can do with a drop-down? So like with links, we have seen various requirements, right? So similarly, with drop-down, the very basic requirement with a drop-down is I need to select an item. So this is a very common requirement that I will get to select an item. How to select an item? It's very simple. Here, simply you say yes dot select by index. There is a method called select by index. So when you take a drop down, it can be referred with index. So this is index 0, Frankfurt is index 1, London is index 2. Something like this. Index always starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how it goes. Say, for example, I want to select Frankfurt. So what I can do, I can simply say select by index 1. This is the second item. All right. Now, let's see whether this is working. That's it. So simply say select by index 1. Now, let me run this and see quickly whether this is working. It started. Now you see, yeah. Can you see now? It went and selected Frankfurt in the dropdown. Is this clear?
Yes, clear.
Right. Now, there are also other ways other than using index to select an item. Say, for example, now I say yes dot select by, there is something called visible text. Visible text. See, this when we will use this, see, index is quite easy and powerful if you have limited number of items. See, I can able to count because there are limited number of items. Some 10 items are there. Suppose you get a drop down where there are 1,000 items. It is very difficult to go and count and refer it by index. So simply what I can do, I can refer it with a visible text. Say, for example, I want to select Paris. So what I can do, I can simply go and type here Paris. That's it. This will automatically go and type Paris in whichever index it is. So let me comment the first one and see whether this is working. So this should go and select Paris. Done. You see now, it went and selected Paris. Right. So there is also one more option. That is simply say yes dot select by value. See, select you can do by 3 methods: index, visible text, value. Now, what is this value? There is a slight difference between visible text and value. See, here also, suppose if I give some name, say, for example, I see here, let's say New York. Let's see whether this is working. I'll say new space York. Okay, let me comment this and run this. This also will go and select New York. Let's quickly check. Yeah, you see now it goes here. Yeah, and it selects New York. But what is the difference between statement 27 and 28? Both are doing the same thing. There is a slight difference here when you use visible text. So visible text always, Selenium, what it does is it will search in the GUI, in the application GUI. That means it will always check your application whether the text is available. That is here. That is how this method will work. Select by value, what this will do is it will search in the DOM structure. It will not search in the GUI. This is the main difference. It will search in the DOM structure. So what this will do is it will go to the DOM. Say, for example, if I inspect this, it goes to the DOM. Let me inspect again. Yeah, this is the DOM structure. It opens the DOM. It opens the option tag and searches for the value. Which value has the text what I am referring to? I am referring to New York. So it will search which option attribute has value tag as New York. It will come here automatically. And whatever text is there, it will try to select that. So this is the basic difference. See, sometimes what happens here, your text may not be appropriate. You need to refer it with your HTML DOM. Then in that case, what you can do, you can use this method. If you have a proper text in your application, use this method. If you have very limited items in your dropdown, use this method. Is this clear?
Yes.
Right. So this is one common requirement, how to select an item. The next one is, now what I want to do, I want to count. See, sometimes this, I may get a requirement to count how many items are there in my dropdown. Count the total items. So this is very simple. You have a straightforward method. I will use the same yes variable, yes dot get options. There is a method called get options. This will return all the elements in the dropdown. So yes refers to the dropdown, that is this dropdown. Okay, I simply say dot get options. Get options. And you see now the return type is a list because this is a collection. This returns a collection. So what I can do, I can store this in a list because this statement returns more than one element. Okay, I can store it in a list. Same syntax, list of type, web element. And here I will say the options. Simply I will give some name options and import this list. That's it. Now what I can do, I can simply say system.out.println. I'll say now the total items in the drop down is equal to, I can simply say this is a list, right? I can simply now say options dot size. That's it. This is a list. If I use the size method, this will return the count. That's it. So now if I run this, it will now say 10. Let's see whether it is giving me 10 because there are 10 items there. Yeah, this is New York. It is selecting. Now here it should give me the output. Yes. Now you see the total items in the drop down is equal to 10. So this is okay. So next, the third one is print. Print the items. Print the item is exactly the same logic for list what we did. What you need to do? You need to put an iterative loop, for loop, and you need to print one by one. Get the text. That is one way. Okay. Other way is what you can do. You can also use a for each loop. So for loop, I told you in the link example. Here I will show you how to work with for each. See, for each is another loop in Java. So you can simply say like this. For, I will say web element options. That's it. This is for each. See, you don't have to define an initial condition, where to go and how long it should run. All that syntax is not required. Just that's it. So here what I'm doing, see, this is a list. From this list or from this collection, take one item at a time. Automatically it will take. This is what we call as for each loop. Okay. It will automatically run from the first item till the last item. For every iteration, it will take one item starting from the beginning, and it will store it in one element. So options is a collection of web elements. So that is the reason I am saying web element of E. Any variable you can use. For the first time, E will hold the first element. That means the first drop down item. Now, if I want to print, what I can do? I can simply say system.out.println. I can say E dot get the text out of it. So this will get the text. That's it. Either you can use the for loop, what we have seen in link testing example, or you can use for each. This is much more simpler in terms of syntax. Both will return the same value. Now let me run this. You go and select New York, and it will count and it will print. Let's see. Yeah, everything is counted. The total item is 10, and these are all the 10 items. Clear?
Yeah.
Right. See, one more requirement which I recently encountered in one project. So they have a unique requirement. That is, they want to identify or they want to get which item is selected. See, in the first step, in statement number 29, I'm selecting New York. I want to find which item is selected now. So this is a very rare requirement and very challenging requirement. That is, I want to find which item is selected. Is there a way to do that in Selenium? Yes, it is also quite easy. Let's simply put a print statement. There is a method. I will say the currently selected city is equal to. How to get this? Use the S variable, select variable, yes dot. There is a method called get first selected option. Get first selected option. There is a method. You can use this method. Get first selected option. So this will automatically get this New York element. And from there, what I want to get the text. From that element, I want to get the text. So this will automatically return New York, whatever I am selecting here dynamically. So let's see whether this is working. The requirement looks a bit challenging, but if you know the right method, it is very easy. Fine. So I'm selecting New York. So here, if I see, it should return New York. You see now, the currently selected city is New York. Is this clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Right. So try all this. So this is all with drop downs.
Let me one doubt here. If there is a text field along with a drop down, how it's handled?
Text field means you mean this one?
Yeah, actually we need to write some text, and along with we need to select some drop down items, something like that username along with that Mr. Mrs. that
So both
drop
are
down,
different
right?
elements. You cannot have an element which is a combo of a text box and a drop down, right? See, you mean to say there could be one element here where you need to select Mr. or Mrs. And here there will be a drop down. Both are separate elements. They cannot be both same element, right?
Okay.
You're getting what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So I will tell you from what I understood what you are saying. There is an element like this. This is a web page. And let's assume that there is a drop down. Here, I need to select Mr. or Mrs. And here, I need to type the name.
Not like that. Actually, I will show you one example. Okay.
You show. If there is an example, show. I'll stop sharing. You share your screen.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, I can see.
This is one login page, right? This the kind of drop down I was saying.
Okay, now go to that login site. I think there are two elements there, which is not visible actually. You go and inspect and see how it shows. Okay, so this is the element. It has a class and it has another attribute called for equal to username. Okay, login ID. Now go to the right side and inspect. That you inspect. Can you see that? It's a select.
Okay.
Both are not same.
Oh, okay.
See, this is a drop down and that is a text box. But when you see through your visible eye, it looks like a common element, but both are different elements.
Okay. So we need to handle separately, right?
Handle separately, yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Tomorrow I will show you a drop down, which is completely challenging. I will show you. You will not even have a select tag. Okay, so I will show you tomorrow morning. So you try this. I don't want to, what is that? To confuse you now. So this is one common dropdown which generally we get. Apart from that, we have one more dropdown also that is called jQuery dropdown. I will talk about jQuery dropdown tomorrow. Okay. See, till today, what we have seen is we have seen all the basic level of Selenium. So whatever we have seen, tomorrow we will move on to the advanced topics. Tomorrow is the last day. We will move on to the advanced topics. And one thing what you can also do is you can try all this. This and all, you can take it as an activity. Don't only try what I am showing. So you can take up all this. You can take up this page and try to, don't do this radio buttons. Radio buttons, I'll tell you how to handle it tomorrow. You leave as it is, but you can try giving different numbers here, giving a different value. All this you can automate. All this you can automate and just click this continue button and see whether it is working. You can take this itself as a complete scenario. That one you can try. And the second one, oh, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. Nobody have told me. Just let me know if you can able to see my screen.
Yeah, visible.
Yeah, I was talking about this complete page. See, if you look at here, there is a radio button over here. This you leave it. Radio button, you just go with the default, which is there selected. I will tell you tomorrow how to work with radio buttons. But this all you can try. You can select some passengers, let's say 2, and here you can select some London. Here you can select some month. You can scroll here and select some date. All this you can try. And finally, what you do after giving your airline preference, click on continue. All this we have discussed. Right. So this is one activity which you can try. And one more activity, what you can do is, I will go to demo workshop. Go to this web page. This web page we have seen. What I want you to do is, after coming to this web page, I want you to click this login link. You know now how to work with links. Click this login link. Go here. What do? You have to give an email. You have to give a password. You have to select this remember me checkbox. Okay. You try this. It is very easy. Okay. I have not talked separately about checkbox, but it is very easy. You have to just perform a click operation. So just identify this element, inspect this element. You will get an element. You see now it has an ID or a name. Very easily you can locate it. Locate it and simply say dot click. It will go and select. That's it. This is how you can handle a checkbox. Handling checkbox is very easy. Okay. And what do? You click this login button. Is it clear? But before that, if you want, you can register manually once. Okay. Don't automate this. You register manually once. You have your own username and password. Then you automate this login screen. You click on login. You give your email, whatever you have registered. You give your password and click this login button. And see whether it is taking you to the next page. All this you have to automate by selecting remember me. Can you try all this?
Yeah, sure. Try.
Okay, all this you try. Tomorrow we will move on to the advanced topics. Any other questions? Any questions, concerns? All good so far. You're getting something. Definitely, you are not able to become a master like the way like how I am doing. So don't compare the way like how I am coding with yourself that you are not able to do that, because this is my bread and butter. I am doing it every day with different examples. Definitely, it will not come to that speed, but if you are getting to understand the concepts and if you feel that okay, I need quite a lot of time to practice and do it, then you are in the right track. Right.
Yes.
Any questions? Meenu, Kalpana. So this was the hand which was raised when I asked the question, right? Kalpana, Meenu, still your hand is raised.
I don't know why it is not disappearing.
Okay. Okay, fine. There will be a button. You click on the same hand button which you clicked, it will go down. Yeah, that's it. Simple. Okay. So how is it, Kalpana, for you? You're pretty confident now.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Okay, good. How about others? Meenu, Namika, Angeline.
Yeah, till now, able to follow all things.
Okay,
Hope it will be easy for next also.
very good. Okay. Yeah, it will be the same. No worries. So nothing rocket science. Only thing like we need to have the passion to listen, understand, practice. That's it. Simple. Yeah. Gokul, Madana, Nikhil, Kala.
Good, Rami.
I'm also able to follow the same.
Nikhil, Kala. There are many silent listeners here. Angeline.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, great. Fine then. So if you don't have any questions, we will close for today. And so if in case like you need the link, if in case you have not got the recordings for the first 2 days, so please mail me or like please message me on my number. I will share you. And I'm yet to get today's link. Once if I get that, I will share you as well.
Okay.
Fine, great guys. So thank you so much. Wish you all good luck. Catch you again
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Rami.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.